gives Esmark a power play. Stepping into the face-off circle is Keller. They call it a bench minor for too many men, so Lucius serves, but something evidently had gotten some wires crossed over by the benches, and someone was on when they should have been off, and that leads to a too many men early opportunity here for the Esmark Stars. They set up an overload power play far side down into the corner in front of the AT&T sign. Back behind, they try to work Gretzky's offense. The pass does not connect, and it rings out all the way to Ramanu. Little spin move counter from Fairman. Going to get comfortable with these names. I haven't seen either one of these teams for quite some time. I might have announced both of them earlier this year. I know I had Gentry last year. And some of the same kids, they've lost some. We'll talk more about that. Puck is stolen. It's a turnover, and bringing it out is Harvey. Harvey's got some. So I've seen this before. The penalty expires, and the team's back to full strength, but they haven't really got set yet. So I use the analogy of somebody maybe that had too much to drink the next day. There's a hit on Lucius that he wasn't ready for, and play continues. So you might have had a little bit too much, and then, the next morning you're not still inebriated, but you are hungover. This is into the back of the net. Brown took the shot. Fairman, what a beautiful move. He was working against Cruz Lucius and just kind of ran out of room, but really a great shorthanded scoring chance there from Fairman. It's fun to watch. Big shot comes in off the stick of Cruz. So we've got 56 seconds left in the man advantage for Gentry. We're coming up in the midpoint of the first period. There's 8:35 to go in the first period, and first game of the day here from McKinney, Texas. Brown on retreat. This one goes the length of the ice, and because of the power play situation, no icing call. Yesterday's Bantam games. Can't do that. Here comes Rhyme. Rhyme gets around his man, but takes it down behind the end line. This pass doesn't quite connect, comes out to the neutral zone. Frack couldn't get his hands on that one. Frack tries to pull this one in and has it tipped away, forechecking Keller. I'm sorry. That's Keller, right? 5 or 9. And told him, I said, I've announced a lot of hockey games where the glass breaks, and you guys did a great job. They really did. Oh, busted twig. Zanulin. There's a minor for cross-check. This one goes against Rhyme. He's got 2 assists on the game, and now he gets on the board. Just needs a goal to run the clean sweep. Penalty, assist, and goal. So here's a trivia question for you. There's an expression in hockey about the Gordie Howe hat trick. Offside with 14. No color commentator. So we're going to crowdsource that. I'm going to give out a number. Feel free to send in a text message. Love to hear from you. I've given shout-outs to grandparents watching in Alaska. We're not going to resurface in the middle. We did put up 8.5. So this session is we're going to run 8.5, and then we'll just have a short break, no resurface. And we'll come back with the balance of the second period and then the third period of this game. Puck is dropped. We return to play. Esmark has gained the zone. They've got the man advantage, and now they've established possession in the zone. And they're trying to set something up. They work it behind the end lines and walking it out into that slot area, taking a forehand shot. Dunkin' Donuts in Texas? Where's there a Dunkin' in Texas? I lived right here. You missed out. The Korean ladies have the best donuts. I'm telling you, this is a donut capital of the world. Yeah, it's a beautiful centering pass onto the stick of Watson. Can't quite get this one around the goaltender, but a good scoring chance. Fairman plays this one. Watson with the shot, get knocked down and working the other direction. This is Frack. Frack enters wide side all by himself, tries to dipsy dangle through the defender and can't quite come out on the other side. On retreat, it's Old Tan Bekoff. Old Tan Bekoff and bouncing puck. This one's played by Fairman. Fairman, he's got the hockey here, brings this one in, pulls up on the half wall. Little stutter step, drops the puck back to Olton Bekoff. That might have been metric. I'm getting my guys confused. If they'd stand still, I could read the numbers a little more clearly. I'll ask them to do that. 15 seconds to go in the Esmark power play. They trail by 1. They play this back to the blue line, kept in by Zanulin. Zanulin drops it down along the wall, and a shot just up off the glass and just a little bit high of the mark, and came off the stick of Voltan. Back to the action. 6:11 to go in the session. Picked up by Lucius on the wall. Tries a rink-wide pass and doesn't connect, but he does alleviate pressure from the zone. Dump back in on the forecheck. It's Quish. Quish pulls this one off the wall. Kicks it over to Settleman. It's another stick of Fairman. Lucius, nice pass. Looks for Kurth. Kurth pulls back. Hits Shimmick in the boots, and then he, second time's a charm, gets this one back to the blue line. Keim. Rhyme. R-E-I-M. Kurth. Over to Rhyme. Kurth. In the zone in the second period. They'd start subbing out one at a time. Minimal this one gets tipped and deflected into the back of the net. We are tied. Ramona with the shot. Now so
Esmark Stars goes for by number 5,
Keller, 5. So 5 from 8. That's Keller from Ramona. But they've got everybody informed, and now we're ready to return to play. Shimmick in the face-off circle. Wins the draw, but can't quite get the pass back to the blue line, and working his way up ice is Fairman. Fairman head of steam and takes this down to the end line. Oh, what a play there by Kurth. He had Lucius fake the pass and managed to buy some room and some time to take 2 more strides. He didn't think that first pass was necessarily going to connect, and he wound up finding a way to skate the puck out of the zone. A little savvy there from Kurth. Stretch pass, they're looking for Kurth, and now it's left for Lucius. Lucius has Shimmick if he wants him, and can't quite snake around. Lucius, by the way, I don't think I mentioned this. He was college committed at a very young age. I think he's the youngest player ever to commit to the University of Minnesota. Cruz Lucius over on the right wing right now, number 12. I think he was the first 2004-born player to commit to a college, and that was a full 2+ years ago. I know the Gophers looking forward to getting in him and his brother. I think they're still committed. There's been a coaching change, but I know they've kept all of that recruiting pipeline from Coach Lucia, and Gophers need all the top players they can get. They got drum rolled yesterday, 8-2 from Penn State. So back to the action here. Rhyme jumps like a basketball. Went out of his way not to touch it. I think he was worried he might get a whistle there for too many men. So as a result, Gentry kind of playing away from the puck for a split second, and that's why they got pushed back, forced to regroup, gained the zone, lost it. Now we're back out to neutral, played to Ricky. Ricky goes D to D. This one snap passed up on the, well, I would have said the stick of Lucius, but it bounced over it, and they're now in pursuit. Shimmick, I think, is college committed, and it might be to Miami of Ohio, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to ask. If the coach of the next game played for Miami. Here comes Kurth. Kurth coming in, fires this one, saved, kicked wide, and we got a tag up back on side. We got an 8 or an 18. I think the jersey says 8, but he's got some tape on it, so not on my line chart. Looks like there's a added player possibly. Snapping it back, trying to get it in the direction of the point man Ricky, but sneaking his way to pick that off is Fairman. They've gained the zone, sweeping it to pick it up. We got Gentry, one of the top midget age teams in North America, playing, and Esmark been with them all the way. 3-2 is your score. 19-19 is even up on the shop board, so been a great one here. Esmark Stars pinned back near their own end and trying to find a breakout option. They play Quish, bounces over his stick, and he's engaged in a battle with Kurth. It's been this line that's done a lot of damage here. We've got 2 goals today for Shimmick and 1 for Kurth. Two of them came on shots from the point that I think were tipped, but one of them was for sure. No, one. The first one was a tip, and the other was tidied up right after a shot, and then the puck came out in the high slot, and that was a top corner fired by Kurth. So what we'll watch for here is pass from Conover. Brazil at neutral, plays this back to Conover. D to D. It's over to Rhyme. Up to Brazil. Brazil skates through neutral, gains the red line, gains the blue line, and works over to his forehand, fires a shot, doesn't miss by much, just goes over the back crossbar. 13 minutes to go in this one, and we're starting to get up to the point that they've played a period and a half on this sheet. When the glass broke, they changed the resurface schedule, and as I mentioned, by the end of this game, you're going to be pushing a quarter-inch of snow with the puck around, certainly in front of the benches and maybe some other areas. So I would expect it to be a little advantage to the team that has the lead at this point. I wouldn't want to be too far behind. It's just a 1-goal game, but watch for that. The ice is getting a little bit snowy, and there's no relief in sight. And big hit there from Zaniel. Esmark does a great job getting a puck on net despite not having numbers. It was kind of a 2-on-3 rush, and ended up getting a shot to goal. So through the neutral zone, Harvey, he plays Sajovic. Sajovic's got McGraw in the slot area if he wants him, and setting up behind the far side is Harvey. And there he is. Oh, geez, you just see where they're trying to get that puck, and credit them. I love the way they're coached. I saw some real well-coached teams yesterday, but getting another one to start the day here. Very impressed with Gentry. Rink-wide pass. Dickey. Oh, just a little bit high. Goes over Sajovic's stick. Been an even game. 21-20 on the shot board. 3-2 on the scoreboard. Gentry's got the zone, and the clock is their friend at this point. 9:35 remaining. Rhyme fakes the shot. It's interesting. It's gotten to the point that it looks as though they're setting up. I credit the Esmark coaches. One of the things that you notice when you announce as many games as we do in this league is teams have very hard times with in-game adjustments. In that first period to second period break, nothing really changes. It's when you get the resurface in the middle of period 2 that you really start to see immediate changes sometimes in the tone of the game. Coaches say, hey, guys, we need to do this. Guys say, I'm buying into that, and the game takes a little different tone. This game didn't have that resurface because it's just diagonal. It doesn't have to be spot on. Somebody can pick it up either on the first time or it bounces off the boards. They get it the second time, and it alleviates the pressure but doesn't go for icing. That's definitely part of the strategy here. Sajovic, Harvey. McGraw goes off for the line change, so he's kind of by himself and fires this one just wide of the mark. Sajovic plays this one back to the blue line, and this one comes into that slot area, bounces off of Frack's boot, and now we're down to 5 minutes and 30 seconds to go in this 3-2 game. Shot up into the glass area. Sajovic, I think it was they're trying to regroup and bring it back, and lost possession in the process, and that's how Esmark finally does gain the zone. And into the back of the net, centering pass, unmarked in that slot area. Can't tell for sure. Back to the action. 3:57 to go. We're inside of 4 minutes. We're going to start talking about provisions. If the game ends tied in regulation, Mosley on the blue line. That's where we have Mosley dropping back to defense. They put Harvey. They're getting 4 of power play for the balance of the game. 4-on-4 situation. Gentry, they are on the ropes, back against the wall. Esmark, 4-on-4 with a 4-3 lead. They've gained the zone, but they're going to be cautious about over-pursuing. They play Shimmick. Shimmick plays this one into the center ice area for Kurth. Kurth enters the zone, Gets hooked as he goes to shoot it. No call coming, and play continues. Back to the blue line, Brown. Plays Shimmick. Shimmick loves what he sees and tries a dipsy dangle to pull it to his forehand. Broken up. Great play defensively by Esmark. They look for Shimmick in the slot area. He can't get control of the bouncing puck. He does get control of the bouncing puck, and he fires a shot that has to be saved. Big glove save there by Dickey. Play continues. Folks, full strength for Gentry. 1 minute remaining in this regulation. Full strength for Gentry. The goaltender's still in. They're going to look to get him out. And now they have a face-off. Not sure where. Empties the bench. Any question if it's a win? That's a big one.